Shalom everybody again. Welcome back to this channel, Deception from the Beginning. The purpose of this channel is to bring to light what has been done in the dark, and that is that Satan deceived the whole world and he did it from the beginning. I have a lot to talk about, and I was doing a message on who is a thief, and then as I was doing my studies and I had taken a break, because sometimes when I'm studying and it's a lot, then sometimes I have to step back and I have to take a break. So I went and I took a break, and then I went to another sister's channel. Her name is Sister Deborah, and when I looked, she was doing a message and she was talking about the stolen identity, how man stole the feminine woman's feminine identity and her position and woman's position. So I was like, wow, look at, and I didn't, first of all, at first I didn't realize that, as I kept listening, I didn't realize that it was the same, kind of like the same thing that I was studying at the moment. And then after I kept listening, then I realized, wait, wow, but this is the same thing that I'm studying, and it's going to lead up into the same thing. So I just give the Father all praises, all glory, and all honor for always helping me in my studies. When I'm going and I'm studying something and I have a question about it, I have said this before, that he always sends a servant. He always sends a faithful servant, to expound on the very, very thing that I'm actually studying, and then I get more out of it. And I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful for that, because I'm nobody and he didn't have to do that, So I just give him all the praises, glory, honor, and esteem, and all the thanks for that. And I just bless his Kadash name, his set apart name, his holy name for that. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit long, and I still have more. I'm still not even finished with it yet, but it's been a while. It's been too long, and I really need to get it out, but first of all praises, all glory, all honor, all esteem, all thanks, all blessings to Abba, who is all truth, who is all righteous, just, upright. Okay, to Abba, who is almighty, all power, and omnipotent. Okay, to Abba, the sovereign creator, who rules over his creation with his word, power, and spirit. Okay, to Abba, the mighty, mighty creator, Abba Yahuwah, the spiritual creator, who is unseen yet clearly seen. Okay, you create a sovereign creator who holds all power and control and is the orchestrator of all things. You omnipotent creator who has it all written and there is nothing hid from you. You mighty creator who is everlasting. You mighty, mighty creator who all worship belong, for you are sovereign, all righteous, all knowing, all hearing, all remembering. Okay, you mighty creator who has it all on lock. Okay, y'all got it all on lock. Okay, so the title of the what I was studying is I had had it as who or what is a thief, but since I did my deep study, I'm putting who is a thief. Okay, so it is who is a thief. Right now, Satan in the kingdom was a thief. He wanted something that didn't belong to him. Right, he wanted worship, he wanted power over the angels, he wanted control. All right, he wanted to be like the Most High in the sense that he wanted worship. Right, he wanted the angels to worship him. He wanted the angels to see him and marvel off of him. All right, he wanted something that did not belong to him. Right, but before all of that, he had a position, he had a job. Right, he had a responsibility. This was given to him by the Creator. Okay, he is a created being. Now listen to him in his position. All right, this is him in his given, in the position that Yah gave to him. And if we go to Isaiah chapter 14 verse 13, right? So listen to him in his position given to him by the one who created all positions. Okay, the master, the omnipotent, everlasting, almighty, sovereign creator. Now listen to Satan in his position that Yah gave him. Right, Isaiah chapter 14 verse 13, it says, for you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of El Elyon. So he's going he's going up into heaven. He will exalt his throne above Yah's stars. He is where did he get this throne from, or this position from? Right? The Father is the one who gave him this position, right? The Father, the creator, okay, who created all things, created a throne and gave it to him, right? Because he says, I'm gonna exalt my throne above the stars of hell, right? So where did he get that throne? He can only get it from one place. He can only get it from the one who created all things. All right? So Satan had a position which was high, because as we can see, right, he has a throne because he says he's going to exalt his throne above Yah's stars, right? If we go to verse 12, so we're going to go up to, or go, should I say back or up? Go back to verse 12, because we did 13. Go back to 12. Listen to what it says. It says, how are you fallen from heaven, O Hallel, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Right? So, from this high position he fell because Yah threw him down. You know, the one who raised him up, the one who gave him that position, threw him down. Okay, for wanting to exalt his throne, his position above the stars of Yah. Okay, so the topic is, who is a thief? Right? And the answer is anyone who tries to exalt themselves above Yah. Okay, so a person might say, well, how can anyone try to exalt themselves above Yah? I mean, he is the most high. You know what? People obviously do it and it doesn't make them above Yah. Of course not. It doesn't make them above Yah, but that is where they put themselves in their minds. Okay, so their actions show it. That is what Satan did. That's how he got 1/3 of the angels to follow after him. If you go to Revelation chapter 12 and you read that chapter 12 verse 3 through 4, you can see that there. I'm not going to go to it. You can go to it on your own time. But so there you go. Satan is a thief because he tries to exalt himself above Yah. Okay, let's go to another one. Let's look at another example. Who is a thief? Okay, so let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 26, right? 2 Chronicles chapter 26. So this is about King Uzziyahu. Okay, he became king when he was 16 years old, and he started out right. Okay, he did what was right in the sight of Yahuwah, and he sought Yahuwah. As long as he sought Yahuwah, the omnipotent creator, and as long as he sought Yahuwah, the omnipotent creator, Yahuwah made him to prosper. Okay, all that he accomplished and all that he did, right, was only because Yahuwah made him to prosper. But let's look at 2 Chronicles chapter 26 verse 16. All right, that will be 2 Chronicles chapter 26 verse 16. Let's read. It says, but when he was, that's Uzziyahu, but when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. And it says, and that is just like how Satan's heart was lifted up to his destruction. So you see how it relates. You get a position, you get high. I mean, they got a position and they got high, and then their heart get lifted up. They become proud in the position that Yah is the one that created for them, right? So just like Satan's heart was lifted up in his position, right? But let's keep going. For he, that's Uzziyahu, transgressed against Yahuwah his Elohim, and went to the temple of Yahuwah to burn incense upon the altar of incense. Now we have to remember that there are strict laws of who can and who cannot burn incense, right? And Yah don't play with those laws. He don't play with it. Okay, not just anybody can go and burn incense. No, that's not how Yah set it up. Yah is a creator of order. Okay, he's not out of order and out of whack and just anybody could just do anything. No, he gives you a position. This is your position. Stay in your position that he give you, right? So this is why this is another thing that why we have to remember that we have to stay humble in the position that we have, right? And then we can't become proud of ourselves concerning the things that we accomplish, or okay, because it's not us that made ourselves to gain anything. It's Yah's hand that is our source. Speaking about the source. It's Yah's hand that is our source all along. Okay, let's go to verse 17. And Uzziah and verse 17. And Yahu the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of Yahuwah that were valiant men. 18. Okay, and they withstood Uzziyahu the king and said unto him, It appertains not unto you, Uzziyahu, to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for you have transgressed. Neither shall it be for your honor from Yahuwah Elohim. Verse 19. Then Uzziyahu was wroth, and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priests in the house of Yahuwah from beside the incense altar. Okay, listen to this. And Azariah, the chief priest, and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. Can you imagine the shame he must have felt? And they thrust him out from thence. Yea, he himself hasted also to go out, because Yahuwah had smitten him, because Yahuwah don't play. Okay, so for the rest of his days he was a leper, and stayed separated from the house of Yahuwah, and his son was over his house. Okay, so who is a thief, right? Who is a thief? Let's read. All right, let's see. Azariah, who was a thief by trying to exalt himself to a position that was not appointed to him by the omnipotent creator, who creates all positions and appoints whom he will to whatever position he wills. Okay, so far, who is a thief? All right, that will be anyone who tried to exalt themselves above Yah's throne. Okay, and 2, anyone trying to put themselves into a position that is not appointed to them by Yah. Okay, so let's see some more examples of thieves. Let's go back. This one's gonna take a while, and this is where I really benefited from what the sister was teaching. You know, I already knew that man had stolen dominion from woman. You know, because when I look around, when we look around in the world today, we see that man is the one who's running the world. Okay, man is the one who's running and ruling everything. But I want to go to Genesis chapter 3, and I just want to talk about it a little bit more. You know, so let's see some more examples of thieves. So we're going to go back to Genesis chapter 3, and we're going to see that man male did the same thing Satan did. Okay, Genesis 3 Genesis chapter 3 verse 4. Let's listen up. Okay, and the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die, for Yah does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Okay, what did Satan want in the kingdom? Okay, so you see that? What did Satan want in the kingdom? And we talked about that a little bit already. He wanted to exalt his throne. His position above the position that Yah gave him. He wanted to be worshipped. Okay, he wanted to be like the Most High, right? He wanted to be like the Most High Yah. He wanted power and control. Well, so now he's cast out of heaven and down here, and kind of offering man the same thing in a sense, right? He says, look at Adam and Eve in a perfect world. So we see Adam and Eve, they're in a perfect world. They don't have to worry about anything. They don't have any stress, right? Look at all the stress that we have today. And then here comes the enemy telling Adam and Eve, telling them that they themselves could be like gods. Okay, oh, you're gonna know good and evil, and that will make you like gods, right? Stepping out of the position that the Creator gave them. All right, after listening to Satan, they now want to exalt themselves above the position that Yah gave them. You see that? After listening to the enemy, now they want to exalt themselves above the position that Yah had already gave them. Okay, what is a position? What was their position here on earth? Let's read it. All right, it can be found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Let's read it. It says, and Yah Almighty said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Okay, so there is a position that Yah gave them, male and female. You see it? Both were to both have dominion over all the earth together, right? Equally. Not one above the other, but equally. So let me read it again, okay? I'm gonna read it one more time. And Yah Almighty said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Okay? So Ahia created man in his own image. In the image of Ahia created he him. Male and female created he them. Okay? 28. And Ahia blessed them, and Ahia said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. Okay? The earth, and subdue it, and have what? Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Okay? That's your position. Be fruitful and multiply, and have dominion. You're going to be fruitful and multiply because after you, your seeds, you and your seeds, and your seeds, and the seeds of your seeds and the seeds will have dominion over this creation that I have given you. Every creeping thing, every birds, every fish, everything, every living thing. You have dominion over it. Okay? That's your position. All right? But that wasn't enough. It's never enough. You know? It's a shame. So, not one above the other, but equally, right? So now we see the position that Yah gave them to have dominion over, right? All the earth, but somehow they wanted to exalt their position to be more than what they were given. And I'm gonna say man, okay? Because the thing is that I believe that these translators, right, and people who confiscated the scrolls for thousands and thousands of years have added, took away. So I'm going to say man wanted to exalt his position above his position to be like God, to know good and evil. So they added and took away, right? If we look around, if I'm going to say man, because even if we look around today, this world is run by male. It's not run by woman. Man have dominion all by himself, and the world is torn upside down because that is not the order that the mighty, awesome, omnipotent, omnipresent, all-knowing, all-seeing, all-hearing, all-might, okay, all wisdom, all knowledge, all understanding, all righteous, all truth. That is not the way he set it up. That was not his order from the beginning. Okay, but don't think that he didn't know that this was going to happen. Like, he knew it already. Like, okay, this is not by accident or anything like that. This is what he already knew from the kingdom. Yeah, so they added and took away from the scrolls and made it look like it is the woman who is to be blamed for the downfall of mankind. All right, make it look like it was the woman who brought sin into the world. But using the same Bible that they smeared, we can see that the command, okay, to not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because we're going to go with the same Bible, right? Okay, we can see that the command to not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil was given to Adam, right? According to the same book, she wasn't created yet. Okay, I'm just going by the same book. She wasn't created yet. All right, so they added and took away so much so that this is why one needs the Ruach when studying, so that you can sense when something isn't right. Okay, so what is a thief? Man, because he wanted to be like God, to know good and evil. Okay, also we can see that man took more than the position that Yah gave him with woman to have dominion, right? Okay, it's deep. It's very deep. So we're going to keep going. All right, so man took more than the position that Yah gave him with woman to have dominion over all the animals and all the earth. So he is a thief. He even stole woman's position. Okay, that is why you see male running the world today all by himself. Let's keep going to see how he himself stole woman's position. Okay, let's go. So let's go to Genesis chapter 1 again. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1 again. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. Okay. So Ahiah created man in his own image. In the image of Ahiah created he him. Male and female created he them. And Ahiah blessed them, and Ahiah said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So we can see that the omnipotent creator created both male and man and woman in his own image, which is a spirit. Okay, right? I did do another video on this, explaining Yah's image being masculine and feminine. All right, this is the video. The title of this video was called Deception from the Beginning, and that was part 5. Okay, and it's called part 5 Yah's Deception from the Beginning, part 5 Yah's image. All right, you're more than welcome to go back and have a listen. The creator created both of us in his image. The creator's image is a spirit, and it holds masculine and feminine, which did not start here on earth. If you are a female, then you have a feminine image that the Almighty Creator blew into you when he gave you a spirit, and with that spirit came truth. And if you are a male, then the Almighty Creator blew into you, right, when he gave you a spirit, a masculine image. Okay, the Almighty Creator gave both of us dominion over all the earth, but something happened, because somehow man ended up being on top and ruling everything alone from the time when Adam and Eve sinned. Okay, woman was stripped from her position, and because they have added and taken away and changed this Bible to make it fit their agenda, okay, and in it put woman at the bottom when Yah gave both of them dominion. Okay, why is it that the both of them sinned? Adam and Eve sinned. They ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So why is it that, okay, they both of them sinned, so why is it that man is now on the top and woman is in the dirt, is on the bottom? Right? Why? But yeah, but all they had to do was mess with some things in the beginning. But Ahiah did not allow them to do so much so to where a person isn't able to discern that something isn't right. All right, let's read it, and you will see that Adam took woman's position on all sides. Okay, right? The question that I have is, have you ever known somebody that was an instigator? And I'm going to use this word instigator in a different kind of way, like a way that you probably have never heard it used before. Yeah. Okay. So have you ever known someone who is an instigator? Right? So the definition: an instigator is a person who causes is a person who causes something bad to happen. Right? It's a person who provokes others to engage in certain actions, usually leading to rebellion or sin. We know Satan is an instigator, but what about Adam? All right, Satan. Okay, but what about Adam? And I don't understand why more people don't talk about Adam. It's like they look up to Adam somehow. Yeah, but pay attention. I'm not going to focus on Satan, because I believe that Satan and Adam already had a conversation. That's just me. I believe that Satan and Adam already had a conversation, which is not here. But if they did, it's written in the kingdom. Okay? It's recorded in the kingdom. But let's look at Adam's actions. I first want to go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. Okay? Let's read. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her man with her, and he did eat. Right? So Adam was given the commandment directly from Yah's mouth. I want you to see how it says she took it ate it, and gave also unto her man with her. With her. Okay? See that? This with her. Her man with her. Adam, who was given the commandment directly from the Creator's mouth, was with her. Okay? He watched and saw that she didn't drop down dead. Okay? In her flesh, that is. Right there. And then he ate it. Okay? So she ate it first. She didn't drop down dead. And then he ate it. It's almost like he was testing Yah, right? But he used woman to see what would happen. You know, this is my thinking, okay? It's almost like he was testing Yah, and he used woman, right? He used woman to see what would happen. He thought he was getting away with something. But another thing, another thing I want us to look at is let's read Genesis chapter 3 verse 6 again. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof. Okay, if you can just picture this, okay? Look at this picture. The whole time when the woman lusted after, because she's lusting after the fruit of the after the fruit, or the idea of being like God, to know good and evil, Adam was standing right there with her. Okay, so don't think he didn't know. We already see that he was there and didn't say one word, being that he was given the commandment directly from the mouth of Yah. Okay, from the mouth of the omnipotent creator. Okay, even when she said, Yah said not to touch it. Oh, the battery's dying. But we'll continue. Even when she said Yah said not to touch it, why didn't he correct her? Right? Where did she get that lie from? Okay? Adam wanted to eat from that tree. Okay? Let's go up to Genesis chapter 3 verse 4. It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For Yah does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Okay? So Satan was talking to both of them. All right? He was talking to both of them. Who was right there? Man and woman. The both of them was there. He said, ye shall be as gods. G-O-D-S. Plural. They were both there. Okay, they were both there. And Adam, who was given the command directly from the mouth of Yah, the creator, said nothing. Okay, it looks like Adam and Satan was on the same page. All right, give it a trial, you know, like this. An example, give it a trial, okay, with the woman, and see if and if nothing happened, then Adam decided he would do it. All right, so they was just giving the trial run using the woman. If she eats first and don't drop down dead, then this is Adam, then I'll do it. But if she eats and drop down dead, then I know I can't do it. So yes, he is a silent instigator. Okay, it's like if you see someone doing something wrong. Let's say if you have two siblings, right? You have an older and a younger, and the parents tell the older one, hey, look, I don't want you ever to smoke. Okay, I don't want you smoking. It's gonna make you cough, and it's gonna make you're gonna get lung cancer. Okay, and you're gonna die. Okay, so listen, don't smoke no cigarettes, right? So let's say the two of them, the two kids, the older and the younger, they go out and they find a cigarette around some corner with a lighter. And the younger one takes it and says, "Ooh, I'm gonna smoke this. I'm gonna smoke this." And then the older one is right there with him, and he don't say nothing to him, right? And then so he see the younger one light the cigarette, take a puff, and he didn't cough, and nothing happened to him, right? He didn't cough like the parents say, "Oh, you're gonna cough." He didn't cough, right? And then so the older one takes it and takes a draw off of it too. So then what does that tell you? It tells you that the older one also, he wanted to do it. Okay, he wanted to do it because if he didn't, he would have said, hey, no, don't do that. Mom said not to do that or whatever. Dad said not to do that. Okay, so yeah, so he's a silent instigator. Okay, so it's like kind of like the same thing. So Adam already sinned in his heart. He already wanted to disobey. Ants everywhere. He already wanted to disobey Yah. He wanted to be like God, to know good and evil. So he is what you would call a silent instigator. An instigator can instigate through words, actions, or non-actions, as long as the person is put into a position and they know what is right and they know what is expected of them. They know what is just, right? And they don't act or speak out against someone doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Then guess what? That person is an instigator, a partaker, and a destructor. All right. Okay, so it's like a plan. If it makes it seem like it was a plan of Adam to take her position, you know, like if she takes of the fruit and she dies, then I have dominion. Maybe I'm just crazy. Like if she takes of the fruit and she eats it and she dies, this is Adam, right? She takes of the fruit and she eats it and she dies, then I'll have dominion all by myself. Okay, but right now, I mean, right now, even though she didn't drop down dead right there in the flesh, you know, because we know the Father wasn't talking about that kind of death. He was talking about a spiritual death, being separated from him. Okay, so, and yes, he did die. Okay, they did die. So, I forgot what I was saying, but let me continue. So who is a thief? A person who takes another person's identity. Man took woman's identity and stole her position as a feminine part to have dominion with him over all the earth. He has dominion all by himself. So you can see him today having dominion all by himself, and the whole earth is out of order, and it got that way from the beginning. Okay, you can see it got that way right there from the beginning. What happens right after that? Right after he stole woman's position, what happened right after that? Cain kills Abel. Okay, so who is a thief? One, anyone exalting themselves above Yah. Okay, anyone exalting themselves. Two, anyone exalting themselves to a position not given to them by Yah. Three, a person who takes another person's identity. Okay, we have examples in the Bible with people stealing other people's identity. All right, and if we look around today, that is the biggest scam today. People taking other people's identity, taking other people's identity to open credit cards, to buy houses, to do all kinds of stuff. People are stealing other people's identity. And look, one of the biggest identity theft, the people over there in the land of Israel, and the European people who are known as the Jews today, they have stolen a whole nother people's identity. Okay, so yeah, so this identity theft business started in the beginning, and it's rampant today. Okay. Yep, where was I? Okay, so, but it started with Adam taking Eve's identity. Okay, identity. Yah gave her in her feminine role to have dominion. That is the first case of identity theft. All right, we have another case of identity theft with when Jacob stole his brother Esau's identity. All right, and I talked about the Europeans who stole the identity of the true bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, calling themselves Jews, meaning from the tribe of Judah. At the time in 19, I remember, well, I don't remember because I wasn't born yet, but I saw it on, I saw it after the fact. At the time in 1948, when the land was given to the Europeans, the Ashkenazis, Jews, the president of Egypt said, "You left black and came back white." Okay, that should have drawn attention to the whole world. You left black and came back white. Okay, let's continue. Who is a thief? All right. theft is done in secret, and I'm gonna show more examples. I wanted to go to and I'm talking about a spiritual thief. Okay, I'm talking about spiritual thief. All right, Second Kings. Let's go to Second Kings chapter 5 verse 5. I hope my battery don't finish out. All right, I'll try to hurry up. 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 5. Now this is after Elisha had taken King Naaman, had told King Naaman how to be cleansed of his leprosy, and Naaman wanted to give Elisha a blessing, but I'm summarizing, but Elisha refused. Let's go to verse 16, right? Because I summarized, that will be 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 5. I just summarized, and then now we're going to jump down to verse 16. Okay, and it says, as Yahuwah lives before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he, Naaman, urged Elisha to take it, but Elisha refused. So Elisha did not want a payment for what he had what he had told Naaman to do in order to get his leprosy cleansed. Okay, so now we're gonna jump down to verse 20. Okay, but Geshazai, the servant of Elisha, the man of Yah, said, behold, my Adonai has spared Naaman, this Aramite, is in not receiving at his hand that which he brought? But as Yah lives, I will run after him and take somewhat of him. Okay, 21. So Geshazai followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him, and he said, is all well? Okay, now listen to this. 22. All is well, my Adonai. This is Geshazai, okay, talking to Naaman. Okay, all is well, my Adonai has sent me, saying, behold, even now there have come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray you, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. And Naaman said, be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver and 2 bags with 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bore them before him. 24. And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand, and bestowed them in the house, and let the men go, and they departed. Listen to this, okay? And I'm going to explain it as I go. And Elisha said unto him, whence come you, Geshazai? And he said, your servant went nowhere. 26. And he said unto Geshazai, went not my heart with you when the man turned again from his chariot to meet you? Is it time to receive the money, and to receive garments, and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, and manservants, and maidservants? 27. The leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto you, and unto your seed forever. And he went out of his presence a leper, as white as snow. Okay? So Elisha's servant was a thief. All right? He went in secret behind Elisha's back, getting gain for something Elisha already refused payment. Elisha told Naaman what to do to be healed of his leprosy, and he wanted to compensate Elisha, and Elisha refused. But the greedy servant went behind Elisha's back, lied on Elisha, saying Elisha sent him back for payment. Then when he got back to Elisha, and Elisha confronted him, he lied again to cover up his theft. So his Adonai had already refused payments, right? Elisha had already refused payment, and he took it upon himself. Okay, Elisha's servant took it upon himself to go behind Elisha's back and told a lie to Naaman so that he could gain something. And when he came back, he had to hide them. He had to hide the stuff that he got. He had to hide them from Elisha. And when his Adonai Elisha confronted him, he lied to cover it up. So all of that shows that he was a thief. Okay, so that is what is in him. Okay, and that is what came out of him. That was what was in him. It was inside of him, and that is what came out of him. Okay, his fruits, all right? That was his fruits. He was a thief. So who is a thief? Someone who lies on someone else to get greedy gain. All right? Stealing usually involves lying. All right? Look at Satan in the kingdom. How do you think he convinced the angels, 1/3 of them, by the way, to follow after him? It must have involved lies. Look at Adam and Eve. Lies was involved in that whole situation. Okay, Satan told them a lie. Where did Eve get, and then also, where did Eve get the lie from about not to touch the tree, right? Where did she get that from? Look at King Azariah. He lied to himself, convincing himself somehow he had authority to burn incense, lying and deceiving together. Okay, if a person deceives themselves, okay, they lie to themselves. All right, all right. Look at Geshaziah. That's Geshaziah. That's Elisha's servant. He had to lie to get Naaman to give him payments. All right. One last example. I'll see. I might do one more example. Let me see. One more example. All right. I wanted to also talk about the situation with Moses. I'm going to talk about the situation with Moses, and then I think I'm gonna end. But let's see. So this whole situation, the situation with Moses, and the question is, who is a thief, right? So let's go to number 16, and go to number 16. I'm gonna summarize it because it's really long, okay? But so this is where it starts at verse 1. So this is where Korah, Dathan, and Abiru, right? These are Levites, and some of the other some people from, I think, some people from the tribe of Reuben. But the so Dathan, Korah, and Abiram, right? So they and others rose up against Moses and Aaron. It was like 250 of them. They said how Moses and Aaron took too much upon themselves, and all the assembly, and they were saying like, Moses and Aaron, y'all take up too much on yourself, and all the assembly is holy, and Yah is among all of us. All right. So they went on to accuse Moses and Aaron of lifting themselves above everyone. Okay, now Moses was very angry because he did not lift up himself above anyone. Okay, Yah is the one who put him and Aaron in the position that they have. Okay, we can see how Moses even did it when Yah had approached him in the burning bush. Moses had all kinds of excuses why he couldn't do it, why he couldn't be the one to do the job that Yah was giving him the position to do, right? He was saying, oh, I'm of a slow tongue and I'm of a slow speech. And Yah was like, who made man mouth? You know what I'm saying? So Moses and Aaron did not uplift themselves to any kind of position. Yah is the one who gave them the positions, right? And now these men are coming up against Moses and Aaron, but actually who they were really coming up against is they was coming up against Yah. Because if you're going to go up against Yah's servant, right, you're going to go up against Yah's servant that Yah has given a position to, then guess what? You're really going up against Yah's order, right? Yeah. So but so I was saying that but they were actually coming against Yah, because Yah Almighty is the orchestrator and he appoints positions. So them coming against Moses and Aaron, they were disrespecting the I am that I am's order. Okay, but Yah destroyed all of them. In the end, Yah ended up destroying all of them. They wanted to put themselves in a position that Yah did not give them. Okay, they wanted to change the order that the Almighty Creator set. They weren't satisfied with the position that Yah gave them, and they wanted more. Okay, so anytime a person come out of the order that Yah set for them and wants to include or insert themselves in a position that Yah did not give them, then guess what? That person is a thief. Anytime a person wants to put themselves in a position so that they can gain the glory, because really that's why they're really doing it, because now they have a position that Yah has given them, right? They got a position that Yah has said, okay, this is your position. And then when they want to come out of that position and go to a different position that Yah did not put them into, right? And who are they doing that for? They're doing that for their own glory. They're doing that for their own honor, because that means now they're not satisfied with the position that Yah gave them. Okay, now they're full of pride. You know, I mean, I can't think of it to be anything else. It has to be pride. They're not satisfied with that position Yah gave them. Now they're full of pride. Now they want to exalt themselves into a different position that Yah has not given them, right? Yeah, they become jealous of another person's position, right? They become jealous of another person's position that Yah has given them. Okay, so yeah, so I was saying a glory, okay, so anytime you want to put yourself in a position so that you can gain the glory and the honor in your flesh, a glory and honor that does not belong to you, then you are a thief. The point is the Almighty give Yah all the praises, glory, and honor. The point is the Almighty, all-knowing, all-righteous, I am that I am, omnipotent, omnipresent, magnificent, everlasting Creator, who is above all, sets the standards. And if a person tries to exalt themselves to mess with that, with what Yah has set, well, first of all, you can't change Yah's standards, because Yah is all truth. This spiritual Creator is all truth, and people can't manipulate, okay? You can't manipulate that truth. But so if a person tries to mess with the standards and the order that Yah has set, then they are a thief, okay? And the actions will show it, okay? Their actions that the actions they have to take in order to do this involves stealing, killing, and lying, okay? So when a person tries to exalt themselves to a position that does not belong to them, right, then these actions usually involve stealing, lying, and deception. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Let's give Yah all the praises, all the glory, all the honor, all the esteem, for He is the I am that I am. Okay, all you have to do to know is just open up your eyes and look around, and everything that you see is a creation of the Most High Yah. Even if you see cars, whatever it is that you see, cars, a garden hose, whatever you see, a pencil, a table, glasses, okay? Who gave man the wisdom to create all these things, to invent all these things? And man can't invent anything without using Yah's creation, okay? So give Yah all the praises, all the glory, all the honor, all the esteem, all the thanks, always, forever and ever, because you know what? Whether we do it or not, He still is sitting on that throne. He still is ruling over creation. He still is almighty. He still is all power. Okay, He is the existing one. We all live off of His breath. So I give the Father all the praises, all the glory, all the honor, all the esteem, all the thanks. Shalom.